But let's go through that. Let's go through the positions instead of me yakking about it. All right, hope you guys can see this. Okay, so what do we have? Bunch of positions actually. Okay. So I post my positions full transparency every Monday, Wednesday, Friday for in the community page of the YouTube channel. Where can you find that? You can go to the channel. In the middle section, there is it says videos, shorts, live. All the way to the right, it says community. Click on that. You guys will see a screenshot of my positions. Again, none of this is trading or financial advice. I post it because I'm fully transparent. Losses, gains, whatever you got is what you got. I'm not going to cut corners. Obviously, I'm trying to make money. So what do we have? Start at the top. I have a Webull synthetic, BULL is the symbol, expiring July 18th. I'm short to 12.5 puts, long to 15 calls. A little bit of a loss on that, but if I do get assigned Webull, so when I do these synthetics, my first thought is, do I want it if I get assigned? I can roll up, obviously, but my intent is to get assigned. So I sold the puts at 193, about $2. Stock is 1035. 12.5 minus 2 is 10.5, right about even. Do I want it at 10.5? Yeah, I stocked. And once you look at the chart, I stocked that popped to 80 when it came public through a SPAC. So yeah. I'm parting up with one of my girlfriends today after about a month. Turned out to be a really good trade. Long 5,000 shares of EVgo, average price 370. Sold calls, weekly calls, twice or three times, I think. And so I had lowered the cost by about 25, 30 cents already. And this past Monday, I sold $4 strike calls expiring today for 25 cents. So overall, this is going to be about an 85-cent profit on 5,000 shares. I'll take it for about $4,200. And definitely going to get taken away unless something happens. It tanks to 4 or under. It's 428. It will get called away. So that position is going to be cleaned up. Yesterday, I started opening a position on fuel cell. FCEL is the symbol. I'm short to $7 puts for July, 25 of those, with a cost of 125. They're about 120. They're about 135. And so I'm putting a call debit spread with the 12.5. I'm with the 7 calls and 10 calls. So 60 on each side with a cost of right about 37 cents, and we're about 20 something cents, somewhere in that range. And so I added to them today that are called debit spread. So basically on this position, the way I'm doing it is I'm having the short puts pay for the call debit spread, so no out-of-pocket money. However, again, my puts are at $120, $1.20 the cost. 7 minus $1.20 is $5.80. Stock is 605, below the price. Okay, do I want fuel cell at $5.80? Absolutely. Do I want 2,500 shares of that at $5.80? Definitely. Oscar Health, one of my reasonably favorite stocks. I trimmed some of my short puts on that today with a little bit of a profit. I'm short the 15 puts for July, long the 15 calls. And I did it twice, last week and this week. I sold the weeklies for a dime and a nickel. Every dime and a nickel helps, folks. 40 of them at a dime is $400 a week you're bringing in against your longs. So if you're long July calls, you can sell weekly calls against it and lower your cost basis. And again, this the short puts, I was up to 35 puts. I trimmed today, obviously, and so most of my trades, when I do put the trade on, there is a requirement on the short put side, but that pays for the long side. So basically, I want a little bit of a sweetener. I want a little bit of a kicker out of that. I'm going to go to SPX last because that's the major column there. WeRide made shit ton of money last week, last month actually. I was long in the 7s. up to 4,000 shares. I had some cover calls. I didn't wait for those, bought those back, sold the shares, was down to 1,000 shares as of last night, added 500 more shares today at 822, and now start adding again, start building the position back to what it was. So on Monday, I'm going to be probably 65% cash once EVgo is gone, and I'm very comfortable with what I have. All right, let's go to the SPX. So I was long 25 SPX, 6,000, 59.75 put debit spread. I put on about 740 range, 750 range. And so max gain on that is $25. Max loss is 7.5. But those go out to July. But then today, what I did is, as you guys can see, hopefully, I put a put credit spread and a call credit spread. Put credit spread when we were selling off, and I trimmed with profits, obviously, on the put debit spread. So this is almost like a hedge, daily hedging my long-term hedge, if that makes sense. I will trim some more at some point, but I'm still long 15 of the debit spread instead of 25. And so the Iron Condor I put in, I took in 125 on the put credit spread, and I took in 150 on the call credit spread. So that's 275. That's about $1,500 or $1,300 or something, like $1,400. So that was, at the moment, they're melting away. Looks like they will expire worthless, and that's it. That's where we have. That's the positions. Let me go to the front. Let me put another order in here. We're at 6,005. MVC is 6,000. Luis, you did not wait for 6,000, but I don't blame you. Yeah, some of you will ask, what is MVC? MVC stands for most valuable contract. Once MVC is reached, there's no reason to do anything else. And we were at 6,000 today. Even at the morning when we were down to 59.73. So when we're that far away, above or below MVC, usually the end of the day, we will close at MVC. Because both sides expire worthless. That's where the most valuable contract is. That's where the most open interest is, actually, on 0 DTEs. I follow Quantata. Shout out to Quantata. It's a subscription system. It's not expensive, but I like it. They analyze data. They don't look at charts whatsoever. They think charts are chopsticks. Okay, whatever. I do look at charts, but charts, I agree. Charts don't tell the future. Okay, data tells the future. So what am I going to do today? I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to watch it close. That's basically it. And hopefully have a green day with all the shit going on. I was green in the morning a lot higher than before, but now if we do sell off, I think it'll be all right. So let me put 5 more of these put debit spreads to liquidate. If they get to maybe 9 range. 9. That's July 18th. That's that. 59.75. So put debit spread, as you guys know, long 6,000, short 59.75. They were both in the money, deep in the money earlier, but now they're both out of the money. So we're selling that. We're buying at 840 credit. No, we don't want to do it at 840 credit. We want to do it at 8. Maybe we want to do it at 740, 840. That's a buck. Nah, not good enough. I'll just keep it. I'll do it 925 if we tank at the end of the day. All right, so that's 930, 925. We'll sell some five more at 925 if the market tanks. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But then my Iron Condor is right in the middle. So 60-40, 59-40 is my body with 10 wide wings. No problem. I enjoy that one. That one looks like safe. Looks like safe, but still has 2.5 hours to go. That's the problem with these put credit spreads and call credit spreads. Usually you should close them out at 50% gain, not wait at the end of the day. But when you're right in the middle of your body, I mean, could the S&P go to 60-40 or 59-40? Possibly in 2.5 hours. So I will most likely close it out because both sides are almost at max gain. Almost, not there yet. But if we do close anywhere between 59-40 and 60-40, both sides will expire worthless, and I will collect all of the premium as opposed to some of the premium. So that's where we are. Let's go to the front. Let's see who wants to come on, if anybody wants to come on. Nobody wants to come on? No? Okay. Okie dokie. Okay, let me put the link up again. Why don't you guys want to come show your faces? Come on now. Don't be shy. I'm not going to bite. I ain't going to bite. There's the link. There's the link right there. Okay, so let's go through some charts. Not that charts mean anything these days, honestly. It's just like so much volatility going on. Luis. Okay. Yeah, there you go. See, that's what Doug, man, Doug is my guy. I'm telling you, he's one of my members. I swear to God. Talk about not having any anxiety to pull the trigger. Whoa, Doug is the one. I mean, if I want to go in a gunfight, I want to be with Doug, because Doug has zero hesitation to pull the trigger. And he goes, I got to do it to understand it. I understand it, but I got to do it. I'm like, okay, cool. So proud of Doug, actually. I mean, I'm proud of all the members, but they're all learning for sure. But Doug is pulling the trigger. And I'm like, yep, that takes... And, you know, he's sizing it correctly. Because he's doing it with one contract, two contracts. Instead of doing 20, 30, 40 contracts, he's doing it with one. You can do it with one. There's no reason for you not to do it with one. But you have to get the, you know, car in the race, man. That's the only way. Okay, so let's look at some charts. You guys see this? That's good. Okay, where are we? 60.04. Okay, doing fine. Forget 925. I'll liquidate some more of that. Everything else is just about where it's supposed to be, honestly. I want to add to fuel cell puts if they get to $1.50. Actually, let's put an order there. My auto is at 5, by the way. You guys gonna do it, you don't need to do it 5, but I like 5s. I like scaling in, scaling out. EVgo is gone, 5,000 shares. That's going to clean up like about 30K cash. Ooh, Webull, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. Fuel cell is there, that's there. Yeah, there's nothing else to do. Oh, I want to buy 500 more shares. So WeRide about 7, high 7s. We're not there yet. We'll put an order when we get there. Okay, let's look at some charts. This is fuel cell. Oh, let's go with the positions first. Let's put the big charts up. Actually, now that I looked at the chart, I really like it. Okay, so fuel cell, good earnings. That was the catalyst. Big move up. Let's start with that position. Pulling back on absolutely no volume. Love these types of patterns. Long sideways. You know, hit got above 8 actually, and now pulling back down to 6. Definitely the right trade, and we're pulling back 20 EMA, 50 EMA. I like it. I like this position. I'm in with July's. I think my target is 10, which is 200 EMA, 995. So yeah, we're putting the position. We're short the 7 puts and long the 7 calls, short the 10 calls. With beautiful credits. Do I mind owning fuel cell shares actually at 6 if I get assigned? Not whatsoever. That's the idea. This is Webull. Here it is. You guys see this? It was a SPAC. It was about 950. Opened the first day at 80. And now we're down to the 10.5 range. Yeah, I like it here. I think, I mean, if it breaks 10, a lot of people say it's going to crack the 5. We'll find out, won't we? Do I want to get put Webull at 10.5? Yeah, I don't mind owning it. I'll wiggle myself out of it on any rally. It becomes a swing trade at that time. So because it is what it is. EVgo, actually fuel cell is kind of replacing my EVgo. Vic, these labels are still showing up, bro. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so we bought it. Well, I bought it here this day on the catalyst. Again, earnings gapped up, big volume. Sideways. That's when I was selling the calls. Finally, I think this is the 3rd or 4th week I'm selling calls, cover calls. Did I mention I hate cover calls? I mean, look, I really don't, but I think it caps your upside completely. So yeah, they're going to take it away, and let them take it away. 80 cents ish kind of range on the $3.70. It's about 25% for less than a month. I'll take that any day, and we'll play it again. I think it's doing one of these things right here, back here, after the first earnings. So we'll probably go sideways on pullbacks. I will definitely be entertaining the idea of getting back in. Oscar Health. Look, man, it's a favorite, one of my favorite stocks. I traded it once. And now I'm back in it again. This was the catalyst again. I always look for a catalyst. Huge gap update, great earnings, amazing. Actually, fundamentals of this company deserves a much higher price, share price. And then had another, every huge update is on huge volume, and then all the pullbacks on low volume. So I'm basically paying attention to that. So we retested the lows again today. Okay. It's not a wild child, but I like it. I like it on the long-term account as well. Now, if you're going to buy it in your investment account. What else we got? We got WeRide. Traded it beautifully, actually. This was, again, NVIDIA owns a piece of it. Uber owns a piece of it. They're Chinese autonomous vehicle makers. Did a beautiful, I mean, you guys should go check the community page. You guys will see the pair trade that I had put on. They're basically the same company, Pony AI and WeRide. They're both autonomous vehicle companies. They're basically Waymos of China. They both have cars out there already, and then they have deals with Uber, and WeRide has NVIDIA as well on their side. And obviously, they're not going to be allowed in the US, but they're all over Europe, all over the Middle East. So, shorted Pony, long WRD, worked beautifully. Yeah, that's called a pair trade. You have a pair that's in the same business. One is out of control, one is underpriced. You go long one, short the other one, and it worked out. So this is Pony, and this is WeRide. So now I will accumulate again. I was, stock was as low as 6. I started buying it on this day, actually. Short, with short puts, long calls. Then ended up, it was actually a covered strangle, meaning long the shares, short the puts, and short the calls. All worked out well. Made good money. Now it's kind of pulling back to support. And on really no anemic volume, every update again on this, massive volume. Stock was as high as 12. Now we're down to 8. Time to start rebuilding the position back to 4,000 or 5,000 shares. That's it. This time I'm not going to sell covered calls. And here's SPX. Let's go there. Where are we? 60.01. Right. Where MBC is at. Isn't that something that they just do that? Let's look at a 2-minute chart. Yeah, we're retesting the low. So here's the labels. You guys can see. What is this order I have here? Oh my God, we'll have to go that low to get 925 out of these. No, I don't think that's going to happen. So let's cancel that. So knowing NBC was 6,000 in the morning, right here, we dropped to here. This is 2-minute chart. I put on the, see this, the labels right here. So short to 59. No, this is the put debit spread. So 6,000 and 59.75. And here it is 59.40, 59.30. When we dropped here, I put the put credit spread on. You see the labels, which are about to expire worthless. At one day will expire worthless. And then when we did rally up to WeWap, which is right about here, I put on the call side. Then they created an iron condor side at the 60-40, 60-50 call credit spread. Why did I pick 60-40, 66 is 60-45 right here. And with a wing of 10, I mean, this is resistance right here on the 2-minute chart all day long. It's basically yesterday. And this is gap down today. Tried to bounce, sold off hard. Now we're back to MVC, which is 6,000. Let's see where it closes. So MVC is 6,000 today. Should I close the Iron Condor with 90% profit? Okay, put it in the chat, guys. What should I do? Should I or should I not? I probably should, but we'll see. All right, let's go through some more charts. Let's go through, so those are the positions. In my long-term account, as you probably know, some of you who watch me, I sold Kava puts. I have the shares. I sold the 75 puts. Let's not look at 2-minute chart. I like the company quite a bit. So we were up at 100. I had bought the shares on the crash, actually, about 73. I rallied to 103. Long-term capital gain structure in my long-term account. I'm not going to day trade or trade. So I just sold, actually, yesterday. I sold July 75 puts. I don't mind getting assigned and buying more shares. What else am I long in that account? I'm long Google. I got lucky. I'm not going to say anything else. I paid about 143 for Google. I think Google is the most underpriced Mag 7 that's out there. And I have Unity software about 21 range. I think that's a good buy right about here, pulling back 20 EMA. Actually, that definitely is a good buy right about here. So I will get on that. Actually, good thing I looked, reminded me. What else am I long in the, and I'm long Nike. Paid about 53. Again, got lucky during the crash. So we'll just hold it. That's it. We've got 4 stocks in there. I will add to Kava by selling cash secured puts. What else? So that's that. So both accounts are out of the way. If you guys have questions on stocks and things like that, let me know. Apple. Let's go through a little bit of the Mag 7. Apple just, going sideways. If that thing breaks down, it doesn't look pretty. SPX. Let's look at those first. This is the SPX daily chart. I did the put. So all these lines obviously are positions, all these labels, so don't ignore those. MACD is about to turn down. 1, 2. We are a little too far from the mean. Okay, so even a pullback to 20 EMA would be 59.23. That's why I did the 6,059.75 put debit spread. And yeah, I'm just going to hold those, actually. I have 15 of them. I had 25. I trimmed some. I'll just hold those. Those will actually gain value. Not when the market goes down, but if they're in the money, they will keep gaining value. Closer to expiration, we get as opposed to lose value if they're in the money, obviously. So that's SPX. Yeah, I think a little pullback is healthy here. Even if we pull back to like 58.10, which is the 50 EMA, which is a buy point, why not? That's where we should pull back to, actually. And don't get freaked out, people. All right, so let's go through the crazy list. I call these crazy stocks. I have no idea how they do what they do, but there's 5, 6 of them that I'm following now. Let's start with CoreWeave. I have never seen, ever, literally ever, something like this. This was an IPO, popped, came back to IPO price, and then took off, right? Obviously, there was a gamma squeeze that was going on. Now, you guys must understand something called skew. And I talked to my members on Wednesday during Members Live. I've never seen a skew, an option chain skew, that is skewed so much to the put side by 3 to 1 almost. So IV on the call says about 65. IV on the put side is about 200. I have no idea what's going on. I do have an idea. I say that being facetious, but there is definitely either a melt up coming or a meltdown coming here. So we're just going to watch it. Hood didn't get elected to, but beautiful chart. Didn't get selected to S&P 500. Maybe next quarter. Beautiful. Here's another one I don't understand, but then I'm not here to understand. Price takes precedence. 140. Palantir. Yeah. Keeps making higher highs, higher lows. Beautiful. And price is looking at you. Price is scoreboard. Don't argue with price. You may have your biases, but it is. So this is also going to have a melt up or a meltdown. This is hims and hers. We are winding up. I will definitely buy some calls, sell some puts on this. And this is massive short position in the stock too. One of the most hated stocks out there. I will definitely be trading this puppy. And then another one that one of my members is short, actually. Is that thing up today? Jesus Christ. Oklo. Now, this company has a zero, nothing. It's worth $6 billion. Offered, just announced the 1 billion secondary. These things are not going down. They just have plans for small nuclear plants. They don't have revenue. They have nothing. Why is it worth $6 billion? I have no idea. Not for me to question. Just watch the price, deal with it. Another one. So some of my favorites, actually, I'll go through my watch list. Lemonade. I really like the stock on any pullback. I'm hoping to God it pulls back to 37 range. I will be in there. They don't do lemonade. They do insurance, AI insurance business. Beautiful chart. And Affirm. During the crash, it got a little shaky here, but all these stocks are above the 220 EMA and 50 EMA. That means buy on dip, right? That's it. That's what you have to do until things change. And let me go through my list off my phone. What else we got? Off my phone. Ooh, Archer down big today. Another secondary of $900 million. Somebody short this thing. You remember that was it? A lot of we made some good money last week actually trading the quantum stocks. We're out of it. Those you got to trade. You can't do it. Chinese stocks. Baba. Let's see if that's getting in range. Yeah. Yes and no. I like Billy out of the group now the most. On the pullback, I think I will get in there. I like BE quite a bit. Bloom Energy. I like a lot of these energy stocks. What else? Let's take a look. Keep going down the list. MicroStrategy, our strategy, obviously. Just going sideways, folks, with Bitcoin going sideways as well. Next leg up on this is 500. So what do? We trade MSTU instead of MSTR. This is the 2X ETF. And what else? Gold. Wow. Yeah. That's what is that? 2 month almost, or month and a half consolidation. Beautiful pattern. That thing breaks out. Watch out. Here comes 3,500 in gold. Why is gold going up, right? Why is TLT going down, which is big down? A huge interest rate spike today. Why are interest rates going up while President Trump wants lower interest rates? Just because gold and bonds are saying inflation is not dead, and we're not going to lower the rates. Some of the quantum stocks, Qubit, QUBT, and Rigetti. Rigetti is not as good as Qubit. Qubit was the winner. Again, if you guys have questions, please put it up. AMD and Micron are definitely shaping up now. Finally, they bottomed. They definitely have bottomed, especially on Micron. Micron pullback to, I mean, we took out this row of resistance about 110. Any pullback to 108, 110, Micron should be bought. Although you're going to say, Sergio, it was 61. Why didn't you buy it there? I really don't care. I rather buy it on pullbacks in an uptrend than guessing a low, because it could be 50 by now, right? So let's not argue about that. Trend is your friend. NUGT is the 2X ETF of gold miners. That's almost about to make a new high. We traded NVTS, made some money there. Palantir we talked about. What else? Redwire, like that chart as well. See all these Rocket Lab, ASTS, new highs. I mean, if you guys have been following me for a while, Redwire actually. Is this a Redwire? No, it's a Rocket Lab. Ooh, okay. RGW, ASTS. How do you like them apples? I like these sideways when they start breaking out. You just kind of go with these things. And what else we got? Tesla, of course. At bottom, up 12 with the market selling off. Gave you guys a chance when the two boys were going at it, but now they're back in love. I have actually a good video coming out about Trump versus Elon. Boy, was that a rock pull. Holy crap. I mean, showing the relative strength, so you guys can argue with that. We traded, actually, TSLL, sold the damn things too early, made like 60%, I think. And could have made 300% with the TSLL options, but they were weekly expiring today. We bought the 11s for like 52 cents, sold them at like 85, 90 cents. I mean, now they're like over $2. Yeah, that's the 2x ETF. You definitely, I want to get in. Yeah, it's pulling back on low volume. Yep, that's definitely, yeah, pay attention to that surge.